So you want to wake up early this winter. You've got a to-do list to do, a winter art to look in with, but you keep waking up tired, and the moment your alarm goes off, suddenly the dread of having to get out of bed into the cold, dark, outside world hits you like a brick wall, truck, all of the above, whatever that saying is. Girl, I get it, because that was literally me last year. I did not want to get out of bed any single day of the winter months until I started digging into the research and actually figured out what the most optimal winter morning routine was that left me feeling refreshed and energized and actually able to go about my day like a normal human being. Because having a bad morning can really impact the rest of your day, right? Unless it's just me. And that'd be a bit awkward. But I'm sure it's not, because if you clicked on this video, then I guess you're feeling the same way. Well, lucky for you, I don't gatekeep here on this channel, so I'm gonna walk you through a science-backed winter morning routine, which I've been using recently and has honestly changed the game for how I approach mornings in winter. This is episode 4 of our Winter Arc series, where I'm walking you through a 90-day plan to help you lock in this winter with your health goals, your fitness goals, help you build healthy habits, and really get ahead with your fitness journey before the new year. I made a full PDF of the 90-day plan, which you can download completely for free in the description. And at the end of the video, I'll also be walking you through the full leg day on that plan. So stay tuned, subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the series, and let's look in with our winter morning routine. Step 1 is all about your alarm. I was one of those people who always used to use my iPhone alarm to wake me up in the morning. Now, this was all well and good, but I pretty much had PTSD every time that alarm went off because it just shocked me out of my skin every single morning. Last year I got a sunrise alarm clock and it literally changed the game for me. So essentially what it does is half an hour before the alarm sound goes off, the light starts turning on, but it turns on gradually. So it's slowly lighting up your room leading up to your wake up time. Studies have actually shown that dawn simulation like this can improve subjective waking and reduce that grogginess and sleep inertia. And I can tell you for a fact that every single time I've used that alarm, I've felt so much more awake and refreshed in the morning rather than jumping out of my skin and already super stressed and anxious for the day. It doesn't have to be a super expensive or fancy alarm clock either. I just got mine off Amazon, so I'll put the link in the description. Next, your alarm goes off. You can't believe it's actually 7 AM. You really don't want to get out of bed. It's still pitch black outside, so what do? Previously, I would have just rolled back into bed and not got up for another half hour or so. But then I came across the 5-second rule. All you do is you count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get out of bed, do the thing. But the key is, as soon as you get to 1, you don't give your brain another second to even think about what you're doing. You just act. Make your bed as fast as you can so you're less tempted to get back in, and then get some light in your eyes. As we already know, it's probably still pitch black outside, so getting daylight, like everyone recommends, is not gonna work. So as soon as you can after waking up, you want to turn on bright light. I sometimes use the light box that I use for content creation, but you don't need one of those. Just aim for one that's around 1000 lux or more, or just very bright, for the first 20 to 30 minutes or so after waking. The reason we want to get that bright light first thing in the morning is because it helps advance our circadian clock, so it signals to our brain that it's actually daytime and it's going to make you feel more awake and alert. So now that we've made it out of bed, one of our main goals is to clear that sleep inertia, and one of the ways we can do that is using micro movement. So micro movement is just like 30 to 90 seconds of dynamic movements as soon as you get up. So you could do star jumps, you could do dynamic lunges, a little bit of mobility, or I typically just like to go downstairs to the bathroom because it is a little bit of a trek to get to our bathroom, so that acts as some movement. And then when I get to the bathroom, it's obviously super bright because we've got the bright overhead lights. Now this is the part that's been popping up in a lot of viral morning routines recently, and that is cold exposure. I don't know about you, but I am personally not up for jumping in a cold plunge at this time in the morning any day of the week. However, the evidence shows that cold exposure raises alertness related neurotransmitters. So, do we have to cold plunge? No. But if you're having a shower in the morning anyway, and if you can tolerate it, then 30 to 60 seconds of cold water after warming up with your usual shower is going to help you feel more energized in the morning. You'll also get similar effects with splashing your face with cold water. So after I splash my face with cold water, I'll go about my regular morning skincare routine. After I do my skincare, I always do my daily devotional because it just really sets me up well for the day. Like, spending time with God and getting in the Word, it fills me with life and encouragement and just energy and purpose for going into the day. A few years ago, I made the decision that the first and last things that I would read every single day would be the Bible. So before I'm checking my phone, before I'm reading any notifications, before I'm having the opportunity to experience any negativity or lies from the world, I am filling my brain with truth. After that, I also often do prayer journaling in the morning. I've run out of space in my notebook right now, but I need to get a new one. I just find that journaling my prayers and writing them down helps me stay more focused, because when I'm praying often in the morning, my mind tends to wander, and then I suddenly snap out of it and realize that I'd stopped praying and just thought about some random stuff for like 5 minutes. So prayer journaling really helps, but you could also just do regular journaling to help you get out any thoughts that you're thinking about, write a to-do list, and just really set yourself up well for the day ahead. Then after you've rehydrated, because hydration is super important, I usually take my morning supplements as well, so that's an omega-3 and multivitamins, nothing fancy. While I'm doing that, let's talk about caffeine. So I know a lot of you listening to this may be pretty dependent on caffeine. Like, what is the first drink you have when you wake up in the morning? Is it water, or are you going to be honest, or do you go straight to the coffee machine? I know you know who you are, and you're probably going to hate me for saying this, but the research has actually shown that delaying your caffeine intake for 90 minutes after you wake up actually is more beneficial than having it straight away. The idea is to let your body's natural wake-up hormones have their initial effect before you introduce caffeine, which then more effectively blocks adenosine, which is a sleep-promoting chemical, and also provides a boost when cortisol levels are starting to drop. Oh yeah, and I know a lot of you will be thinking, oh, cortisol, that's a stress hormone, that's bad, right? But no, you actually need a certain level of cortisol to help you wake up in the morning, because if you didn't have that, then you just wouldn't really wake up. So by waiting 90 to 120 minutes after waking, you allow your body's natural cortisol levels to rise and peak before you drink your coffee. And this can help improve your long-term sleep quality, reduce digestive issues, especially because you're not drinking it on an empty stomach in the morning. And also, it will help you avoid that afternoon crash. So essentially, by delaying your caffeine intake, you're also able to extend the effects of that caffeine further into the day. I don't actually drink caffeine at all now. I stopped last year because I'm just super sensitive to it, and it made a big difference, like a massive difference on my sleep. So let me know if you want a full video on that, but I just have decaf green tea usually. And now it's time for a high protein and balanced breakfast. I typically am not very hungry when I first wake up in the morning, so I like to leave breakfast at least an hour after I wake up. But my top tip for breakfasts would be choose something high in protein, preferably savory, because this is going to help support stable blood sugar levels throughout the day and also improve your cognitive function in the morning. Some studies also showed that breakfast can boost your memory and attention. So as a former breakfast skipper, I would definitely recommend not to skip breakfast, even if you're just having something small. Work up to having a proper breakfast, because I am telling you, when you start fueling your body properly from the get-go, you will just feel so much better, so much more alive, and able to perform your best as well. After breakfast, I usually like to go for a little podcast walk. This is only like 15 to 20 minutes, so it's not a long one, but it gets me outside, I get some fresh air, sunlight. If there is sunlight at that point, there usually is a little bit by then. This is going to help you clear the remaining sleep inertia, so when you get back or get to work, then you're going to be more awake and alert and just ready to face the day. There's a quick bonus tip for my chronic snoozers. Snoozing 3 times will not reset your sleep, and it won't make you feel any more rested. When you keep snoozing your alarm, it actually fragments the wake transition and is going to worsen your grogginess, so that sleep inertia, it's gonna go way up. I know snoozing the alarm feels like a wonderful thing in theory, and maybe in the moment too, because you think you're squeezing in a little bit extra sleep, but it's really not doing anything for you. You'll probably end up worse off after snoozing your alarm than if you just got up when the first one went off. So give this routine a go for a week and notice how different your mornings feel by the end. You'll likely feel a big difference, and that difference is going to come in very handy for helping you to lock in with your winter arc. Right, today I'm walking you through the final workout of our winter arc plan, which is leg day. So I'm going to warn you now, this is a hard workout and you will be feeling it tomorrow. But if you missed any of the other videos in our winter arc series, then I will link the playlist above, because I walk you through the other 2 workouts in the plan there. So let me know what day of your winter arc you're on right now, and what are your current goals? Like, what are you working towards? Because I want us to hype each other up in the comments and really just encourage each other on towards our goals. Also make sure you subscribe, because we're on the road to 100k and I don't want you to miss the rest of this winter arc series either. And of course, let me know what content you want to see in the rest of this series, because I'm making this for you. I want it to be helpful and valuable, and yeah, yeah, drop all your video requests below because I do read all the comments. I try and respond to as many as I can because I appreciate you guys so much. And without further ado, let's go hit this solid, massive, probably pretty intimidating leg day. Now before you even touch a weight in this gym, you are going to do a dynamic warm-up. You wouldn't go from 0 to 100 miles an hour when you first start your car, so why are we doing that in the gym? You don't need to spend ages on your warm-ups. I usually do 5 minutes of light cardio followed by some dynamic stretches to 1, get my heart rate up, and 2, help mobilize my joints more so that I'm feeling good and I've got a better range of motion for my lifts. If you're not sure which dynamic stretches to do, then I've actually made a full follow-along video for that, so I'll link that warm-up above. First exercise in our leg day is seated hip abduction. Now this machine is pretty self-explanatory, but for each set you're going to aim for 12 to 15 reps. That's pretty typical. However, what I want you to do is lean forwards for the first however many reps you can get until failure. Then you're going to drop the weight, lean back, and keep going until you reach a 15 rep total. Both forms are mainly focusing on the gluteus medius and minimus, which will help create more of that upper shelf of the glutes. But when you're leaning forwards, it engages more of the glute muscles, so it feels a bit easier. You'll be able to go heavier, and that's why when you're leaning back, then you'll probably have to drop the weight. When you're a beginner in the gym, I typically recommend doing your heavy compound lifts first, so those are exercises that use multiple muscle groups. However, as you get more advanced, we can start including more techniques such as using isolation exercises closer to the start of your workout to either pre-fatigue those muscles that you're trying to work or help us warm up even more to make our heavy compound lifts feel a bit better. So that's why our next exercise is seated hamstring curl. When you're setting up, make sure that your knees are in line with the pivot of the machine, and when you lean forwards and sort of hug the hug the handles, I guess. That is going to place a bigger stretch on your hamstrings and it's going to allow you to get more out of the movement. Okay, this workout's about to get brutal because we are doing hack squat. Now, I actually am doing this in the wrong order, so I already did the next exercise before this one, so by now my strength was completely gone. I'm showing you this exercise first so that you actually do it in the right order. For our heavier compound lifts, I always start with a warm-up set with either no weight or a small amount of weight on the bar, and then we go into our working sets. You want to stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, your toes slightly pointed outwards. Breathe in and brace your core on the way down. Then when you're at the bottom, you want to exhale and push, like really drive through your feet on the way up. For this exercise and the next one, we want to be paying special attention to our range of motion. So I want you to go at least to parallel, if not lower. And as always, we're controlling the eccentric lowering phase and then power on the way up. Lucky for us, the next machine we're using was right next to the hack squat, and that is leg press. Now, as I said, I already did this before I did hack squat, so this really burnt out my legs. But for the leg press, there's a bit less core involvement than the hack squat, so it's not going to take as much of a toll on your central nervous system. To shift the emphasis onto the glutes more, you want a higher and wider foot placement, and then to shift it onto the quads more, you're going to go for a closer and lower down stance. The same goes for leg press and hack squat, but different people will find different stances more comfortable for them. But for me, especially when I'm looking to target the glutes more, I like a higher foot placement, and then I don't go too wide because sometimes I start to feel my abductors kicking in a bit, but that might just be me. Now, one thing that's really important for you to remember, whatever workout you're doing, is that your workout is only as hard as you make it. So if you're not pushing yourself, then of course it's not going to be difficult. But if we want to see the most growth possible and the most progress possible from your workouts, you need to be pushing yourself close to failure. It doesn't have to be completely to failure, but ideally we want to be 2 to 3 reps shy. I know it can sometimes be easy to fall into the trap of treating our workouts like a tick box exercise, so you're just doing one exercise after the other and not really thinking about it, you're just trying to get it done. But I really challenge you this week to slow it down with how you think about your workouts and actually push yourself hard, because that's what's going to make your workouts actually worth your time. Next up, we have one of my current favorite exercises, which is barbell reverse lunges. Now, if you're a beginner, then do not worry because you can switch this to reverse dumbbell lunges. You can also use a Smith machine for these, but you want the bar to sit across your upper back with your hands just outside shoulder width apart. Breathe in, brace your core, and take one step back into position, and then you're going to go into your reverse lunge. We're aiming to target the glutes with this one, so you want to take quite a big step backwards. The closer your stance, the more quad dominant it's going to be. And it also takes quite a bit of balance, so if you're new to this exercise, I would recommend trying it first without any weight on the bar, or just switching to dumbbells first of all, and you can always work your way up. When it comes to your reps, I like to do all of my reps on one side, rest for like 30 seconds, then do all of the reps on the other side. But some people do prefer to do it alternating, so you go lunge left, lunge right, lunge left, lunge right, and then complete your reps that way. It's really up to you, but I do prefer doing one side at a time. It just allows me to focus on that one side that bit more. But yeah, it's really personal preference. Now we're going to burn out the quads with leg extension. My top tip for this one would be to set the seat back further than you think, because this position increases the stretch on your rectus femoris, because that crosses both the hip and the knee joints. So having your seat positioned further back is going to allow the muscle to contract more fully through a greater range of motion. It also helps isolate the quads a little bit more by reducing hip flexor involvement, so it can help you target the quads a bit more effectively. You want a slight pause at the top of each rep and really control the lowering phase too. This is your finisher, so I want you to go all out on that last set, and you should be feeling a little bit wobbly as you walk out the gym. Here's the full workout, but if you want a completely tailored workout split and nutrition plan to fit your goals, your body's needs, and also your schedule, then I do offer one-to-one online coaching, and you can apply for that in the first link in the description. So hope you enjoyed that workout. Make sure you try out the winter morning routine, let me know if it helps, and also let me know what else you want to see in the rest of this winter arc series. But as you know, your morning will never be the best it can be unless you set yourself up well the night before. So make sure you check out this video next, because I walk you through a science-backed evening routine that is gonna allow you to wake up feeling refreshed and ready to go, ready to lock in with your goals the next day. Love you so much. Subscribe, road to 100k, and I'll see you over there.